Today, let's make a perfect cappuccino like a professional barista. Did you know the cappuccino is the oldest and still the most loved milk-based coffee drink in the world? With its perfect balance of espresso, milk, and foam, this classic coffee drink has stood the test of time. The basic way I can explain to you a classic cappuccino: it's a 1-part espresso, 1-part milk, and 1-part foam. This coffee drink has a very rich history, which dates back to the 17th century in Vienna, where a coffee house served the first coffee drink, which was known as a cappuccino. This is the word, I believe, which is in German. I hope I've pronounced it very well. This coffee drink consisted of coffee, cream, and sugar. Fast forward in the 20th century in Italy, after the innovation of the espresso machine, this is when the cappuccino that we all know popped up in Italy. The cappuccino, when it was introduced in Italy, it was considered as a breakfast coffee. This is why if you go to Italy, past 11 a.m., it's very rare to find someone ordering for a cappuccino, because in Italy they consider a cappuccino to be a breakfast coffee drink. A funny fact about the cappuccino: the name cappuccino originates from the Capuchin monks. The Capuchin monks wear a robe which is light brown. This is slightly the same color that you get when you mix milk and espresso. Due to the rich history of the cappuccino has evolved in the way that it's being made. And this is why I have made this video, so that I can show you how 90% of baristas across the world make the cappuccino. This is considered as a modern cappuccino. It's different from the Italian cappuccino, which I'll explain later on in this video. But I'm going to be showing you a step-by-step guide on how you can make the modern cappuccino, from the shot of espresso, the size of the cup, and texturing the milk to have that form of a cappuccino. So let's start with the size of the cup. For a modern cappuccino, you're going to be using a 5-ounce cup or a 6-ounce cup. This is the ideal size of cup for our cappuccino, which will give you the balance of the espresso and the milk and the foam. For the shot of espresso, when making the cappuccino, I'm going to be using a single shot of espresso. This is the standard shot of espresso in most of the cafes. But if you want your cappuccino to be more strong with coffee, feel free to use a double shot of espresso. Now, this is the most important and the interesting part of the cappuccino. I'm going to be showing you how to texture the milk so that you can have that much foam for your cappuccino, but also make a good latte art for your modern cappuccino. This is why most of the baristas are moving from the Italian traditional cappuccino to the modern cappuccino, because for the modern cappuccino, you can make the basic latte art on top of your cappuccino. For us to achieve this cappuccino texture of the milk, you start by adding in much air than the one you add in for the latte and the flat white. Listen to that hissing sound. The more the hissing sound, the more air you're adding into the milk. After having enough air into your milk, then move your steam slightly on the side to create that swelling or the vortex. This is the time that you're texturing your milk. You're mixing all the air that you injected in and also heating up the proteins in the milk so that you can have that smooth, silky milk texture, which is going to help you to make a good latte art on your cappuccino. Once the milk is done steaming, now it's time for us to pour our basic latte art for the cappuccino. If you learn to texture your milk very well, it's going to be very easy for you to make a good latte art for your cappuccino. I'm going to be pouring a tulip latte art. We start by mixing our milk into our espresso to create our canvas. Halfway the cup, then start pouring our base of the tulip. After pouring the base, pour another layer and finish up with the third layer. Lift up the jug and cut. This is the basic latte art that we've poured for our cappuccino. For you to know that this is a cappuccino and it's different from a latte and a flat white, you should be able to scoop the foam from the cappuccino using a spoon. This is the ideal foam that you need for your cappuccino, and this is how you can make a modern cappuccino. One important tip that you need to know: a cappuccino has more foam than the flat white and the latte. This is the most key difference between a cappuccino, latte and a flat white. If you want a strong cappuccino, use a double shot of espresso. The main goal of this video is for me and you to have the best cup of coffee. Feel free to use a single shot if you want a light cappuccino, and if you want a more strong tasting cappuccino, use a double shot. And if you're someone who likes to spice up your cappuccino, you can add cocoa powder on top or cinnamon like the traditional cafes. But one important thing, a cappuccino can be made in 3 different ways. It can be made as an iced cappuccino, a traditional Italian cappuccino, and this modern cappuccino. Let me know which is your perfect cappuccino in the comment section below. And if you want to try out these remaining types of the cappuccinos, I would recommend for you to watch this video next, because it's a full guide that will help you know how to make these different cappuccinos and also to choose which is the best cappuccino for you.